So far, we've looked at how to find all our books and how to find a single book from our collection. In this video, we'll see how you can post or add a book to our database, update a book, and delete a book. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to use body-parser. So we're currently using body-parser to get elements from the parameters, but in order to use body-parser and parse JSON or URLs, we need to explicitly state that that's how we want to use body-parser. So body-parser.json will allow us to parse JSON elements. URL encoded will allow us to give and receive body elements through the URL so that we'll be able to use this with Postman. So as mentioned, in this example, we are going to be using Postman. And Postman, you can find right here, it's a Chrome extension add-on, and it allows us to do post, put, get, deletes to our API routes. And with Postman, I can do a get call to the books route that we created, and when sending a get request, I can get back all of the books that I've submitted to our database. So in these upcoming examples, we'll be using Postman, and I'll be using the post and delete methods in order to add new books, update books, and delete books. So in this video, I'm going to show you two different ways that we can add a post route. So the first way is what you'll probably find more often. We'll start off with our standard route that we want to use. So we're going to still be using our book route, but we're just going to be posting to this route instead of getting on the route. And we'll pass in our request and response objects. So there's two different patterns that you tend to see in examples. The first one is that we can use the create method. So Mongoose has a create method that we can see right here. So we could say book.create and then pass in the body of what we want to create with a callback. And we'll actually be looking at this as our second example since it's not used as often. What you'll see used more often is we'll define a variable which references our schema. So we'll say new book equals a new book schema. So now I'm able to explicitly attach our book fields to body elements that we can define. So within our book schema, we have a title, we have an author, and we have a category. So I'm going to define those. We'll have a title, an author, and a category. So this will be request.body.title, request.body.author, and request.body.category. So these refer to the keys that we're going to be passing in when we're saving a new book. And the value will obviously be the names of the title, the author, and the category. So after passing those in, we will call a save method. And we'll use our standard, if there's an error, we'll pass an error. And if we don't have an error, then we'll log the book that got saved and we will send it back to our front end, or in this case, the Postman. So we'll save that and I should see my server getting restarted, which it does. So now what I'm going to do in Postman is I'm going to send a post message to our route. So our route is still 8080/book, and we're going to be using this form URL encoded. Now we will be adding key value pairs here. So we're going to add our title and we'll name it Moby Dick. Author, it's probably Hemingway. And category, say fishtails. So now when I click send, if I set up this route correctly as a post route, then it should show up right below here. Okay, and it does. So it looks like our book got posted and we got back a JSON response, and I also logged it so we can see that it gets logged to our console. And if that wasn't enough confirmation, we'll go and hit our books route, and we can see that our book, Moby Dick, got added as a new book. So this is the more predominantly used way of adding or posting to a route. So the other way is just to pass in request.body or the whole thing. And this also works. So we'll make another route and we'll just call this /book2. And it would also be a post. We'll do our request and response objects. So in this route, we'll use the example where we can say book.create. So create is a method that we found on Mongoose right here. And we can just pass in the whole body instead of individual pieces of body. Otherwise, we'll look the same. We're going to pass in a callback with an error and the book that we added. If there's an error, we'll display the error. Otherwise, we'll log the book and send a response. So this should work the same way as the previous example, and it looks a little cleaner. It takes up less lines, less space, but it's a little more error prone at the same time. So we'll change this up a little bit and we'll post, and it works just the same. So example 2, Hemingway Jr. and Fish Saga get posted, and if I refresh our books.get route, we can see that it gets posted also, and we also get it shown in our console. Okay.